Now let us start with the water pollution hazards, the remaining part. Now how it affects the animal health? It affects the aquatic animals and also the terrestrial animals. Terrestrial animals means the animals that live on land. So it affects the reproduction rate of the animals. It creates an imbalance in the secondary food chain of the animals. It results in the accumulation of bioaccumulative and non-biodegradable pollutants in the animal bodies. So bioaccumulation is nothing but that's a slowly, that's a gradual accumulation of certain substances such as pesticides or any other chemicals in an organism. That is bioaccumulation. So bioaccumulation of organochlorine pesticides happen within the that accumulation get inside the body and get deposited. Then biomagnification it causes, that is water pollution causes biomagnification. Due to this biomagnification, what happens is that certain health issues like cancerous tumors etc. happens within the animal body. So biomagnification is nothing but that is the tissues of the organisms get affected due to some pesticides etc. So which is unhealth for the animals. So the bioaccumulation and biomagnification it results cancerous or tumors within the animal body. So the organic matter and the nutrients, sometimes due to the water pollution, the nutrients, excess nutrients will be reaching this water source. So what happens is that the algal bloom will happen, algae goes on increasing. So it prevents the penetration of sunlight into the water and it depletes the oxygen. So which results in the survival of various aquatic organisms. And the sulfate particles, especially from acid rain, can cause even the health of the marine animals. And it contaminates the sulfate particles, it contaminates the water and also it results in the mortality, and the mortality rate also increasing due to this sulfate particles. And the suspended particles will be there in the fresh water and it reduces the quality of drinking water, because in villages I know there are many people who are depending upon various water resources such as rivers, lakes, ponds etc. So the suspended particles that is depositing at the bottom will affect the quality of that water also. And it reduces when the suspended particles are present in this fresh water. What happens is that it reduces the amount of sunlight penetrating into this water and it affects the growth of photosynthetic plants and even microorganisms that is present in the water. So the heavy metals from various industries, they are very toxic to the marine life. It toxic to the humans also. So heavy metals, it can provide a slow development of the human growth and also the animal growth. It results in birth defects. It is carcinogens. It can create cancers. Then the industrial waste contains various toxic compounds which is very damage to the health of the aquatic animals, and it can decreases the immune system. It affects the reproductive system, and it is very acute poison. When this poisonous substance that is contained in the industrial wastewater, it can result to even death to the animals and even humans. And the microbial pollutants are there, that is from the sewage. It results in various infectious diseases. It affects the aquatic life and also both the terrestrial life, that is mainly through this drinking water. So this microbial water pollution is the most important major problem that the world faces, and there are various diseases also, that is cholera, typhoid fever etc. Increases and can cause infant mortality rate also, increases the infant mortality rate. And the disposal of this domestic waste or hospital sewage waste can result in various outbreaks of various diseases such as amoebic dysentery, then typhoid, jaundice, cholera, then metals like lead, zinc, arsenic, copper, mercury, cadmium, etc. It adversely affect the human health and also the animal health. And the arsenic is very dangerous. Arsenic and all the mercury and mercury compounds are very dangerous. Arsenic especially causes cancers. It affects the various body parts. It affects the blood. It affects the hairs. It affects the skin. It can cause even skin cancers. And the mercury compounds such as methyl mercury and all is very toxic. It can even cause numbness to the lips, tongue, deafness, blurring of vision and mental problems. So mercury and its compound, the arsenic and its compounds, the lead etc. they are very dangerous. And the poisonous of the water bodies by mercury can even cause various symptom to the nerves. That is neurological symptom. That is Minamata. It is a neurological symptom that happens especially in humans, and dropsiness happens in fishes. And lead is another type of poisoning which can even affect the tissues of the organisms. And the compounds of lead causes anemia, head loss, loss of muscle powers, bluish line around the gum, etc. So all these are very dangerous, and it is very uh, toxic to the humans and also the animals. And the cadmium poisoning, it causes especially lung cancer and liver cancer. Another type of disease is Itai disease. That's a painful disease of bones and joints, which can even soften the bones, and it can result in the kidney failure. That is Itai disease. And another type of disease is the Ouch disease. That is also a painful disease of bones and joints, which can also cause lung cancers, liver cancer, etc. And high concentration of DDT can even disturb the calcium metabolism even in birds, and which results in thinning of the eggshells of the birds, premature breaking, and it even can cause to the decline of some bird species also. And thermal wastewater, it eliminates or it reduces the number of organisms that is present in the water, because there's up to 20 to 25 degrees Celsius, that is a temperature that is more suitable for the aquatic organisms to survive. So when the sewage or the waste, when it is just disposed into this wastewater, what happens is that the temperature of the water goes on increasing, and it results to the death of the aquatic organism. They cannot survive in that high temperature. And the aquatic organisms, they will take up the pesticides from the water, which get into the food chain and move up the food chain. So the entire organisms that is present the food chain get affected. So at higher trophic level, they get concentrated and may reach the upper end of the food chain. So it is the entire food chain will be get affected, and it results in an unbalanced ecosystem. And the polluted water, it reduces the dissolved oxygen content, because dissolved oxygen is very necessary for the aquatic organisms to survive. So it affects various species itself. And certain, there are very few species rather, they can even survive with low dissolved oxygen content. So those species is known as tubifex. Example, annelid worm, etc. They can starve within this water with a very low dissolved oxygen content. There are certain species like that, so they are known as indicator species. And almost all the species, they require sufficient amount of dissolved oxygen. So hot water, when there is waste water in this disposed in this water, as I have already discussed, the hot water, it discharges the industries, from the industries, etc. It increases the temperature of this water, so it lowers the dissolved oxygen content. So dissolved oxygen content is more in cold water compared to the hot water. And these are various major water related diseases, their causes, the effects, and the prevention is given. And here this diarrhea, dysentery, this typhoid, cholera, etc. They can be affected, especially they can occur from by drinking the contaminated water, eating the contaminated food, etc. So effects means dehydration happens, and the prevention is that we have to use always clean water, keep away the flies from the food, etc. Then scabies, eye infections can happen. So always we have to know, if we are not washing the eyes properly with good quality of water, sometimes the eyes will be get itching happens, or eyes will be happening when the eyes are affected. So we have to improve the personal hygiene. Then mosquito bites happens, and the effect due to that the dengue fevers, aches, blindness, etc. even can happen due to various types of diseases caused by the mosquitoes, such as malaria, river blindness is which can even affect the blindness, etc. So the prevention is that we have to remove all the potential larvae breeding sites. We have to use mosquito nets. We have to introduce fishing ponds, especially in river water, etc. as a prevention against this diseases. And this water can be purified by using various processes. We can use different units within the water treatment plant. These are the different units, that is filtration, sedimentation, chlorination, slow sand filters, activators, starch flocculation, etc. So these are the various processes. So sedimentation, if you are going for sedimentation process, it helps to settle the sediments at the bottom of the sedimentation tank, and normally after sedimentation the water will be sent to this filtration units. For the water treatment, normally we are using slow sand filters or rapid sand filters, so that even the fine particles can be filtered out, and we can remove about 90 to 99% of this microorganisms also, that is BOD also we can remove in this filtration process. And the activated sludge process is nothing but a particular amount of activated sludge. It is returned to this sedimentation tank, etc. That is to increase the oxidation process. Especially this activated sludge is mainly used to treat the wastewater. And flocculation means if you are adding some coagulants in order to settle the sediments at the bottom of the tank, in order to make the sediments settle at the bottom of the tank, especially the colloidal particles if you want to settle. In case of water treatment, we are adding this coagulants such as alum, etc. so that it forms the flocks of the fine particles, and so that it forms the this flocks will be of bigger size and can be easily settled at the bottom of the tank. So that is the flocculation process. So it is mainly used in the both in the water treatment and also in the wastewater treatment. So this influent means nothing but there is a term that is used in this industrial wastewater. Influent means that is the water that is entering into the treatment unit. Effluent means after treating this water, the water that is finally coming out from the final treatment unit, that is known as the effluent. And there are effluent treatment plant is that is to treat the industrial wastewater so that we can safely dispose this water into this surrounding. So always when we dispose this effluent to the surroundings, it has to be meet certain water quality standards. So wastewater treatment plants normally use activated sludge process. So through this activated sludge process, we can remove a large amount of BOD, etc. BOD is nothing but there is a biological oxygen demand. That is the amount of oxygen required for the biological decomposition of the organic matter. So if you are removing this BOD, the organic load can be reduced. So normally that activated sludge process is used in the wastewater treatment. There are various heavy metals such as cadmium, refractory organic chemicals from this wastewater, etc. will be there. So many chemicals will be there present in this wastewater. And normally in case of this wastewater from this rubber industry, we can treat by using this activated sludge process. And there are various heavy metals and various other organic compounds that is present in the wastewater which can be removed. We can provide different treatment units that depending upon the industry. And this iron is very important. It is 0.3 milligram per liter. Manganese it is 0.05 milligram per liter. pH 6.5 to 8.5. Then sulfate 250 milligram per liter. Chloride it is very important, 250 milligram per liter. Color 15, that is in color units, especially in referring the Hazen color units. Color should be maximum, it can come up to 20. So allowable it is 15. So these are the various drinking water standards. And these are some standards that is given for the inland surface water, for the public sewers, etc. For color and odor, suspended solids. pH value always normally 5.5 to 9, even though if it is given for this drinking water, the pH should be 6.5 to 8, that is the pH value.